Thank you, Madam Chair. I just wanted to say a little disclaimer here. I heard all of you over and over again say you were responsible men, men of integrity. That is not true. People who have integrity and responsible don't sell products which, after listening to Ms. DeGette's questions, you admit make people sick, probably kill people. If you wanted to be men of integrity and responsible men, you would not be selling this product. You'd do something else. So I just want you to understand, I'm very upset by hearing this constant reference to your integrity and responsibility. It's just false. But I wanted to get to the bottom of this. I don't believe for 1 minute that any of you did not purposely target young people, but you're not going to admit that. So let me get to my questions. I continue to be alarmed by the rapid increase in the number of young people who are using your product. Youth interest and curiosity in e-cigarettes stems not only from availability and kid-friendly flavors, but also from the persuasive and targeted marketing tactics. And these tactics are not dissimilar to those used by Big Tobacco decades ago. Instead of Joe Camel, e-cigarette companies have used social media to convince consumers these products will make you cool. A Stanford study found that in the years following the launch of its product, Juul's advertising was, and I quote, widely distributed on social media channels frequented by youth, was amplified by hashtag extensions, and catalyzed by compensated influencers and affiliates. So my questions are all of you, Mr. Crosswaith. I could ask the others, but I don't have enough time. Mr. Crosswaith, at the time that Juul used these tactics, were any controls in place to prevent the advertising and marketing activities from reaching young people? Briefly, if you could answer. Were there any controls or any effort to prevent the advertising and marketing from reaching young people?
So just to be clear, we do not do any of the social media programs today. They're not in place.
No, I'm talking about when you started doing it.
Yeah, so from my recollection, looking back in time, this company never had any intention to market to youth.
I know you're going to say you had no intention. I don't think anybody here is going to admit their intent was to market to youth. But what I'm asking you, at the time that you were doing this, were any controls in place to prevent the advertising and marketing activities from reaching young people? If the answer is no, you could say no.
It was before my time at the company.
Okay, it was
and we
before
were
your
not
time.
in social media.
Juul has acknowledged that it was not able to prevent young people from engaging with its product on social media, so I'm not going to ask you that. But in the November 2018 release announcing your action plan to address underage use of e-cigarettes, Juul stated, and I quoted, "User-generated social media posts involving Juul products or our brand are proliferating across platforms and must be swiftly addressed," unquote. So, Mr. Crothwaite, what was the tipping point that led Juul to decide that its marketing practice were a problem that needed to be addressed? I know you're going to say you didn't target young people, but your action plans state that at some point you realized that the social media was causing that. So what was the tipping point that led Juul to decide that this marketing practices were a problem that you should address? At what point?
Well, the company in the past has taken actions when youth data became available, and I believe it was in my best recollection, in 2018, the company stopped being on social media.
Now, you have disabled Facebook and Instagram accounts, but hashtags involving your products continue to be shared across these social platforms. Despite your efforts to end your social media presence, it's clear that your influence continues to be active through user-generated content. As you indicated, and again in this action plan, and I quote, "There is no question that this user-generated social media content is linked to the appeal of vaping to underage users." So, Mr. Crothwaite, after years of marketing practices to attract young people, is it reasonable to say that Juul's actions were too little, too late? I mean, hasn't the train already left the station because now, you know, the social media is being used by the people themselves, not by yours? So don't you think that taking this off the market or off social media was a little too late?
Chairman,
Yes or no?
When I joined the organization, I knew more needed to be done, and that's why I took the steps that I took to combat this issue that we're facing.
Okay, last question, because I only got a few minutes. Do you agree that kids who cannot legally purchase tobacco products should never be the target of tobacco product advertising, including e-cigarette advertising and marketing? Yes or no?
No, the product should never be intended to be marketed to youth, and that is not the company's intention.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair.